Hey guys, I pray you're blessed today. I just wanted to come on here and talk to you all for a couple of minutes. You know, we did a poll a couple of days ago, and in this poll, the whole entire purpose of it was to show how deceiving things can be, especially when AI is involved. You know, some AI is more sophisticated than other AI. And so if you have a really good AI program, you can make images that look very realistic. But the AI I had was not the top of the line. I was definitely not going to pay for AI. It's just not going to happen. So the options in this poll were that L was the real one, or R was the real one. And then there was also a third option that neither was real. And so between YouTube and Facebook, my personal profile page, and then the ARC page, we had a little over 100 people vote, which I am very appreciative, because the more votes we have, the more we can kind of discern what people thought. So on my personal page, there wasn't like a whole lot. There was probably about 24 people that voted, which isn't too shabby, but it wasn't as big as I had hoped it would be. But I don't know if everyone's seen it, so it is what it is. But on my personal page, now I did not go and I did not do all the percentages. I am horrible at math and I was not even about to attempt that. But on my personal page, we had, I think it was 9, and I'll show you the numbers. I've got pictures and I'll post the pictures on here. I had 9 that voted that L was right, was the real one. There were 5 that voted that R was the real one, and then 5 others voted, actually it wasn't even 24 then, I need to learn how to count. 5 others voted that it was neither. And then on the ARC page, there was several that voted for neither again. 4 that voted that L was the real one, and then only 2 voted that R was the real one. And then of course we had 90% we had 90 people, sorry, 90%, you'll have to forgive me, I am very tired. 90 people voted for this on YouTube, which I was so excited about. And the vast majority of you, I think it was like 63% voted that neither image was the real one. Only, I think 13 or 16% said that R was the real one. Then 23% about said that L was the real one. So without further ado, the real picture was L. And how I came up with this was I actually ran it through an AI detector. And there might be a filter. It's hard to find pictures where there's not filters on it. But I ran it through an AI detector, and it only came up to like, I think it was less than 3% chance of it being AI. The other image was one that I had actually made using AI for this sole purpose. And I was kind of shocked because it actually only came up to 89% chance of it being AI generated, which of course it was because I created it. And so to kind of play around with it, to kind of see how accurate it was, I actually found one of my old Snapchat photos from way back when I was really skinny, and ran it through there, and it came back with a low percent, and I'll post that one on here too, just so you can kind of see the numbers. It came back that it was a very low chance that it was AI generated. So guys, it just goes to show you how easily it can be to be deceived by AI. It's really scary. And this is why it's so important for us to keep our eyes focused on Jesus, because the closer we get to going to the rapture, the more the deception is going to kick off. And there was not many that were fooled by image R. And that's awesome. But I'm telling you, there are very, very well-made AI generated images and videos that if you're not paying very, very close attention to, that bless you. This is why it's so important, guys, for us to be careful, because there are some very, very well-made AI generated videos and images out there that will not fool you. And I truly do believe that the closer we get, the more we're going to run into this. You know, we have to be careful with it, with the news, with what we watch, what we listen to. You know, I remember when they really started coming out heavily with the AI images, and I can't remember what movie it was, but it was a movie with Will Smith in it. And they actually made a younger version of him using AI. And it just creeped me out. It just completely creeped me out that they were able to do this. And of course, this was a few years back, so it's gotten more sophisticated over the past couple of years. But guys, if they can make an image look like someone and talk like them. Now, of course, Will Smith was voicing this image, this video, CGI of himself. But what if something happens and they steal someone's voice, or they use someone's voice without their permission, or whatever? Like we talked about with people using AI to speak to their deceased loved ones. And what they would do is they would give a picture to these people, and they would create AI images, and I think they gave them several different pictures, but they would create a digital animated copy of this deceased loved one, and then they would also give them audio. And the more audio you had, the better off the voice would sound more like your loved one. And so they were able to, quote unquote, speak to their dead loved one and have a conversation with them, which of course we really know that they were not having a conversation with their deceased loved one. But these people were so much in grief that they didn't even stop to even hesitate about how that this was wrong. And it's wrong on so many levels, especially as a Christian. We know that that's a form of necromancy, and that does not need to be played around with, because that is dangerous. AI is demonic. AI is super demonic. And we don't want to mess with it. We don't want to toy around with it. We don't want to play with it. And somebody that starts playing around with that kind of stuff is going to get hooked on it. And they're going to think that they need to talk to this thing constantly because it makes them feel closer to that dead loved one. There's also been instances where people have started dating AI and having relationships with them. And I don't know how that works because they're not real. Now, every story like this, do I believe? No. But I do believe that there are people who have social anxiety or whatever it might be, and they're more comfortable with socializing with AI than they are with an actual human being, because they don't have to have any interactions with someone. And so I remember reading this story a while back ago of this young woman who decided, because she couldn't find the perfect guy, she couldn't find someone that she was compatible with, that met her desires and wants out of a companion. And so she created a digital boyfriend. And this digital boyfriend, she would have conversations with it online. Well, she found out recently that they were actually going to discontinue this thing with this AI. And so it was like heartbreak for her, because it was like her AI boyfriend was dying or whatever. But to her, it was reality. This was her reality, that this virtual AI man, it's not a man, but that's what she called it, or believed it was, that it was more real to her, this relationship was more real to her than anything she'd actually had with a real person. And that's scary. That is very scary. You know, sorry, my cat is playing with his mouse, so if you hear a little weird sound, he's feeling frisky right now. So Mandrake is beating up on his little toy mouse, and it squeaks or makes a sound. So anyways, I'm sorry. They are crazy. Right now, his eyes are all dilated, and they're nothing but black pupils almost, and he is doing his little twitchy thing that cats do. So I have a friend, Christy, who loves cats, so she'll be excited to hear about Mandrake's escapades. But anyways, I'm sorry, these cats are very distracting today. They are just on it. Aren't you, Gear Bear? But this was not going to be a very long video, and I knew it wasn't. I really didn't have a whole lot to say tonight, but I just wanted to bring that out about the poll that we had. And then also to tell you all that my dad and I are doing another live stream this Saturday. I've also already posted the link to the upcoming event, so you can go on there and get notified when we start. And I'm really excited about this, and I'm hoping, as I learn more about this technology that I'm using, that I can also use it to kind of slow down the comments. I'm not for sure if I'm allowed to do that. I know on Facebook, not on Facebook, I'm sorry. I know on the YouTube lives that I did, I could slow down, like I could slow down the speed of how fast the messages came in. But I don't think there is a way to do that on this new technology, but I'm not for sure. I've not really been able to look into that. So hopefully, prayerfully, nothing will go wrong. Trusting God that He's going to protect and shield from attacks. But we see that definitely things are upticking with things that are being said and done. And guys, we have to remember, sometimes we might have to agree to disagree on things. We have to sometimes agree to disagree. We might not agree with everything in our theology, and that's okay. The only thing we cannot disagree on is salvation. Because if you have an issue with salvation and how salvation is 100% free, paid in full by Jesus Christ by His shedding of His blood on the cross for the remission of your sins, because without the blood there is no remission of our sins, no forgiveness. And so if you're looking to place yourself in place of Jesus and that you have to work for your salvation, that's an issue. And if you come on here and you fight and argue about that, you will be booted off. I love you and I'll pray for you, but there cannot be any confusion about salvation and how we receive salvation. It is through Jesus and Jesus alone and what he did on the cross. It was paid in full, 100%. You cannot earn your salvation, nor can you keep it by works. Because what you're saying when you try to work for your salvation is that Jesus did not do enough on the cross. And he paid it all on the cross. Like I'm always saying, works are good. You know, when you love the Lord, you want to serve him. You want to do things in honor of him. You want to do that. But it's not a requirement for salvation. And you're not going to miss out on heaven if you don't work. You might miss out on some rewards, but you're not going to miss out on heaven. But guys, seriously, we are on borrowed time, and time is running out. If you don't feel that urgency in you, then ask the Lord to start showing you. There is such an urgency in my spirit to just tell everybody that Jesus is coming and he is coming soon. To warn them, to spread the gospel, to spread the good news of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. Such an urgency. We need to look up because our redemption is drawing nigh. And we see the signs. We see that we are in the season. We have to maintain while we're here. And that's hard sometimes, but we have to maintain while we're here. We have to redeem the time. We have to occupy it. You know, we're not going to save everyone, sadly. I would love to see everyone come to saving grace through Jesus Christ. But we know that's not how this goes. The Bible tells us that. Many, many will be saved after the rapture during the tribulation. Plant those seeds while you can. You might not win them to the Lord right now, but you better believe when they realize what you were telling them about Jesus and how he was coming and how they could receive salvation and that they could go to heaven and be raptured with us. And when they realize that what you were saying about millions of people suddenly just vanishing off the face of the earth, when the enemy comes and lies and just tries to deceive the world, which many, many, many will be deceived. But when he comes in and tries to deceive the world and tell them that aliens came and abducted us, or there was a huge climate change event, or whatever, there was some type of new weapon that they used to disintegrate people. Whatever they say is the reason, they're going to remember what you said. And they're going to think and they're going to ponder on it. And prayerfully, their hearts will be turned to the Lord. But you don't have to go through the tribulation which is coming. You don't. You can receive Jesus now. There's no strings attached. You know, you place your faith and your trust in Jesus and his completed work on the cross, knowing that you're a sinner who was saved by grace and you could not save yourself. You needed someone to save you, and that someone is Jesus Christ. He loved you so much that he laid his life down. He took on our sin and our shame and hung it on the cross. And his precious blood became that blood atonement that was needed. There is no more sacrifice of animals needed because Jesus came and he completed that. You know, I'm nobody special, guys. I'm only here because of God. You know, I'm not a therapist. I can't magically make all your pain go away. I can pray for you. I can love on you. I can encourage you guys. But Lord, but guys, I go through things too. I struggle too. I cry, I hurt. I get angry. I get frustrated. I get stressed out. You know, I sin too. I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. Don't place your faith in me. That's all that I'm trying to say. Please don't. And I don't believe anyone in here is. I just wanted to make that clear, guys, that I'm nobody special, okay? I can't make your problems go away. I can't even make my own problems go away. I can't fix them. I can't solve them. I can love you, like I said, and I can pray for you. I can be there for you. But I can't fix them. And one more thing before I leave. For my safety, I don't give out my phone number. And also for my peace of mind. You know, it has nothing to do with you all in general. It's just I don't give out my phone number. I can't talk to everybody on the phone all the time. For one thing, I got a full-time job. Plus, I can't take on everyone's burdens like that. I would have no peace. And that's just too sensitive of information for me to give out. Because not only would I be giving it out to one or two people, I would be giving it out to the internet. And opening myself up to a lot of harassment and a lot of ugly stuff. And I just cannot do that. And I definitely don't give my address out because of safety reasons again. It would be different if I had a P.O. box, but I don't have a P.O. box. And I just cannot give out my home address. That would just be silly of me and very, very dangerous for me and my family. And I don't believe anyone here on this channel who is subscribed or even watches, even if you're not subscribed, watches the channel, I don't believe that they would harm. But there are some that are very, very wicked and evil out there who profess to be Christians, but they're not. They're wolf in sheep's clothing, who like to threaten people and bully people. That's the reason why I do not give my address out. Nobody should be giving their address out. It's just dangerous, especially this day and age. Sadly, we have to say that, but it's the truth. Like I've always said, if you need to talk to me privately, I have my email address that is just for this channel. It's in the description box. And please feel free to email me. And I promise you, I might not be able to get back to you right that second when I see the email, but I promise you, I will get back to you. Okay, guys, it's getting late here. It's going on a little after 9 o'clock. I've got to work. But I just mainly wanted to tell you all about the poll and the results from the poll. So just remember, guys, deception is high. Deception is very high. And we've got to be careful. We've got to use our discernment. We all have God-given discernment. Some of us sadly don't use it all the time. I will be one to say sometimes I don't use my discernment. And I've gotten burnt for it. We have got to use our discernment. And you'll know when something is wrong because your spirit man, the Holy Spirit inside of you will be telling you this is not right. Something is wrong. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels off. This isn't good. Run away. Get away. You'll know. You'll know. You know, and it doesn't matter what kind of, it could be you feel something's wrong where you're at, like, or you're watching a movie and you just feel like it's not right, or whatever the case may be. It might be a conversation you're having with somebody. Whatever the case is, you will know for sure that something is not right. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, though, but I do love you all so much. Please put your prayer requests in the comment section. Remember, please put a thumbs up if you've prayed for someone. If you see a prayer request, please put a thumbs up. Please let them know, hey, I love you and I'm praying for you. It doesn't have to be anything long. Just let them know that you care and that you've seen that they have a prayer request. You know, I try to get on here and I try to make sure I've commented or at least hearted everyone's comment. But I'm only one person. So let's love on each other. And let's be there for each other. Give grace. Give grace. And let's not argue. That's all I'm going to say. Let's not argue about things. You know, we're not going to agree on everything, like I said earlier. But that doesn't give us the right to fight with each other. Time is too short for all of that. And we need to grow in the Lord. Grow, mature spiritually in the Lord. You know, not remain babes. We don't need to fight all the time about everything. Learn to disagree in an adult way. Some people just cannot agree to disagree. They've always got to be right. Let's not be like that. And if you don't agree with someone, instead of bashing them, pray for them. Ask God to reveal the truth. And He will. It might not be right at that instant, but you ask Him, you know, Lord, if I'm wrong, you know, be humble about it. Don't just say, well, Lord, show them that they're wrong. Lord, if I'm wrong, please show me. Show me that I'm wrong. But God, if they are wrong, please show them that they're wrong. Don't be so puffed up that you cannot accept the fact that you might be wrong too. Be humble. Don't be full of pride. All right. I love you all. God bless you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.